Tulis.
David Tulis here. The Nooganomics.com report today is of the lawsuit filed by Hanson Melvin and his wife Tara against Officer David Campbell, former Officer David Campbell, and Chattanooga city government. And the claim is false arrest and a litany, a veritable litany of crimes that are enumerated in the Tennessee Code annotated, crimes for which Neil Pinkston, the district attorney who represents the law in Hamilton County, is going to ignore. He's going to ignore the state crimes performed and committed by, as this lawsuit says, David Campbell and the city of Chattanooga and his police department. It is a remarkable story where we have the slightest offense by a common man like you, my listener. You get charged with it. You get either cited to court or arrested and booked if you don't sign the citation to Sessions Court. Get arrested and booked. No lenity for you once the officer says, "I'm going to arrest this guy." And yet, when there are police officers working in concert to harass a citizen, a resident of Chattanooga, and then harass him again, I mean, it's a conspiracy involving at least 8 officers, 8 John Doe officers, according to the complaint filed in circuit court. And that is a report today at Nooganomics.com. Make sure you go there and like our report on Facebook. We are live on Facebook, of course, every day here, David Tulis. And like our radio station, we are Nooga Radio. On YouTube, it's the Hot News Talk Radio channel. That's Hot News Talk Radio channel, and I'm live there as well. But do like us and share my work. I cover this issue because it is a part of the narrative of having a freer and more prosperous city. Right? If we're going to have a freer city, it would be good to have one that has less abuse of common people by the state. The state, private crime exists, no doubt. There are gangs in Chattanooga. There are private crimes. There are murders. There are robberies. There are thefts. There are assaults. There are batteries privately, right? Private party to private party. But in many cases, the biggest offender is the state itself and its agents through municipal corporations such as Chattanooga and its agents that would include police officers. Now, there are good officers. I don't know if I need to say that, but it's obvious that there are good officers. And those are the ones who are respectful of the citizens, are there to protect the citizens, and are not there just to cause trouble or to make quota. Right? That they're not there to making arrests to make a quota. But the crimes that Neil Pinkston has ignored are numerous statutory crimes. Right? They're statutory crimes, including assault, aggravated assault, kidnapping, aggravated kidnapping, official oppression. That's Tennessee Code 39-16403. False imprisonment. That's a crime. If I falsely imprison you, my listener, in my garage and don't let you out, that's a crime. It's called false imprisonment, and you can find it in volume 39, 13302. Official misconduct is a crime. Perjury is a crime. Suborning perjury is a crime. Aggravated perjury is a crime. Conspiracy, civil rights, intimidation, and attempt. Those are crimes. And Neil Pinkston, the county attorney, the county state attorney in the county, has ignored all of them. He's ignored them all. And so guess what? It's left to the private party to allege these crimes and then to seek damages. In a state prosecution, there is no damage awarded. That's because it's not a just system. It rejects a godly perspective on justice. When states prosecute, they never care about the victim. They always care about their own pride, peace, and dignity. That's all that the state cares about, since it is the moving party in a criminal case. And victims are just left fend for themselves. And here now we have a victim of a state crime, and he's going to have to pay a third of the damages that should be going to him, right? He's going to have to pay a third of those damages to his attorney who's working on contingency. The attorney is not paid anything for his labors now. And if they win a settlement, he gets a third. That's the standard contingency fee in our legal system. And that story is today at Nooganomics.com. That's the Hanson Melvin lawsuit. Hanson Melvin and his wife Tara are asking really for a modest amount, $500,000. That's 500,000 paper dollars, being sought for what the suit says. The complaint says is policy. It's not a bad apple. It's not a rogue cop. This is what happened is policy, because the officer was allowed to operate this way, and all the officers involved in the conspiracy of double harassment, if you will, they all cooperated. And so these lying is accepted, perjury is accepted by these officers in this suit, unnamed because they have not been found out yet. And the internal affairs investigation, which was responsible for Hanson Melvin's petition. I mean, Hanson Melvin made a claim administratively in the administrative system through the I forgot the name of the separated division of the police department that looks at internal affairs. Yeah, the division of internal affairs, whose office is downtown near the city attorney's office and not in the hothouse of the M. Nicola Police Department station house. It's not there. Complaints made by Hanson there brought the ouster of this police officer, but nothing more happened. Not that we know of yet. No other officers who harassed him the moments after he returned home after his arrest, they have not been held responsible. Nothing happened to them. So what we have to understand is that there is accepted the blue code of honor and extracurricular secret dealings under color of law, intimidating the populace. And these are noteworthy things, and Lord willing, they'll come out at the trial, and that is Hanson Melvin and Tara Melvin, plaintiffs versus the city of Chattanooga. David Campbell, John Doe officers 1 to 8. So there are 8 officers that were responsible in the double harassment. That is the unusual follow-up visit by officers of this man who was falsely arrested and who invoked the name of the Lord Jesus and said, before God, I've done nothing wrong, and you are harassing me, and this is injuring me badly. And David Campbell, as the tape says, well, you'll be out in a couple hours. Well, how would that fit you? How would you like that, right? You're going to jail. You're going to get fingerprinted. You're going to be booked. They're going to ask you your social security number. And, of course, that becomes part of the public record. And anybody can find out your social security number by looking at the public record. Do you know how dangerous that is? Do you know if you're arrested, you expose yourself to all kinds of ID theft and other dangers? People get those numbers off of public record. Do you know that? So it's just a couple hours, Campbell said in the police tape. Well, it's not that simple. It's not that simple. And there is a real offense, a genuine criminal offense by an officer, according to this lawsuit, against this common man, a Christian man, a man with an intact family, right? He's married and he has children. So here we have an outstanding citizen, an outstanding resident of Chattanooga. I call him the future mayor. Hanson Melvin filing his case with the help of the best attorney in town, Clay Whitaker. That's Clay Whitaker of McCoon, the McCoon law firm. And so that's the story today at Nooganomics.com. The custom is well settled and accepted by the city of Chattanooga Police Department, and that is operating procedures under which all these things happen, right? And these are it's lack of care about the people. That's what happens. There's not enough. You might say there's not enough customer service. Customer service would be that which protects the people, the customers of policing, supposedly, right? But it didn't happen. Well, I've been mentioning the coming retirement debacle in the national economy. There is a collapse ahead. Trillions of dollars in promised payouts to unionized state workers across the country. In Illinois, which is a basket case financially, there is a debt to the tune of $126 billion in obligations paid very richly, being paid out to state workers who were in police departments and public schools around the state of Illinois. And there are a few things that can happen. According to a report in the Money Changer, the latest edition, which came in the mail a couple of days ago, the options include sharply cutting expenditures In Lansing, Michigan, where this writer lives, it would be for Lansing to fully fund its unpaid liabilities within the average remaining working career of current employees. It would have to pay off these expenses in the next 10 to 12 years. How? By cutting the city's operating budget and all other expenditures by 25%. That how easy is that to do, right? Think of the fight that goes on anywhere when the non-increase of a budget by 2% causes an uproar. The cities and the states can increase taxes, but of course that just forebodes lower funding. If you raise taxes, funding will go down because people will find a way to get around the tax burden. Governments can increase their borrowing. Borrowing funds are to be repaid in the future. Well, that's a tax increase on future generations. Governments in dire financial straits may not be able to borrow at all, or they'll have to pay a much higher interest rate, which again takes borrowing capital from job creating, wealth creating private sector or corporate sector. The governments can also sell existing government assets. He mentions Lansing, Michigan again. It owns a municipal electric and water utility. It could sell all those operations. That might cover a third of the unfunded liabilities. However, any suggestion to consider this option is almost universally being rejected outright by current politicians. The same would go for any jurisdiction that might consider selling real estate that it owns, or parks or recreational facilities, parking systems, garbage collections operations, and the like. Financial reality will almost certainly force many such assets around the country to be liquidated. And then there's this cutting or repudiating or defaulting on these retirees. And that's probably what will happen. They'll simply be told, look, we can't afford it. We regret we made you these promises. You're going to be you're supposed to be getting $8,000 a month in retirement, and sorry, we can't make that. You'll be getting a $500 check, something like that. That'll be repudiation, and the poor retiree who spent her career, say, in a public classroom, will be glad to get that. When the private sector was forced to book unfunded liabilities in the 1990s, this was where the greatest changes took place. In a handful of states, this writer says, government pensions are theoretically guaranteed. However, that has not stopped some governments in California from revising how these guaranteed benefits are calculated. Instead of figuring pension benefits on full earnings in the last 1 to 3 years of employment, some jurisdictions now exclude overtime pay and bonuses from the base calculation. Again, that lets the jurisdictional entity, the government, pay less. So what are options for you? What do you think might be a good way if you're in this situation to shore up your own finances? I think one important thing you should consider is having gold and silver in your portfolio. And that's because gold and silver, especially if you're buying money, they are not the obligations of anybody else, right? They are the payment themselves. Legally, they're the payment for a debt. If you can pay a debt in money, you've extinguished it for good. And they are not the liability of a company or a business or a government. Now, and right now, according to the Money Changer newsletter, there is a remarkable loss in premium prices. So when you buy, in other words, premium is the value charged for, say, a bag of silver above the melt value. That's when you melt silver down, you get so much money, and the premium is what you have to pay to buy that bag, and that additional premium is what's beyond the melt value. Premiums have gone down in gold and in silver in a remarkable way. So right now, if you want to buy $1,000, let's say in coins, quarters, or dimes, or 50-cent pieces, a bag of $1,000 will cost you about $11,800 paper dollars. So you write a check for $11,800, and a coin dealer such as the Money Changer in Middle Tennessee, he doesn't deal with Tennessee customers, however, he doesn't have customers in Tennessee. He will charge the out-of-state customer about $11,800 in paper for $1,000 in coins. Now, if you buy a bag of dollar coins, you're going to be paying $28,000. So that's more than double. $28,500. That's the price of dollar coins, and that's because a dollar coin is much more attractive than smaller coins like quarters or dimes, right? It's easy. Dimes, a bag of dimes is kind of a hassle, but $1,000 in coins is more expensive. So you'd be paying $28,000 for that. And there are other coins I just wanted to mention right quick. If you buy a silver eagle, right now the price is about $18.30 in paper. A Krugerrand is about $1,257, and an American Eagle, the gold coin, is $1,286. So about $1,250 per gold coin per ounce. These are called bullion coins. They're 99% fine gold. And the Eagle, the American Eagle, that's about, again, 99.9%. These are not coins intended to circulate. They just sit there, right? They just sit and hold value. They're not really investments. They're savings, right? Investment is something that works in the economy. And I would say, for example, that if you invest, say, in your business, if I put $20,000 in your business, it's creating value, right? It's not like a bag of silver or a box of silver eagles waiting. Those eagles are not working, right? They're just, that value, that buying power is waiting for you. It is a saving. It is not capital. It's not creating value. But if I put $20,000 in your business and under an arrangement where it's not a loan but an investment, you're promising me that I'll get back the principal and a profit at some point when you want to buy me out. When you say, okay, here we're going to pay off the money. We have enough liquid capital and savings in our business to pay you back or start paying you back. That's an investment. You see, there the money is working, and that idea of putting money in a local business is part of my theory. Right? That's part of my theme here. David Tulis, I do thank you for joining me. David Tulis, the editor at Nooganomics.com. Divest national, I suggest, and invest local. Bring your money back from Wall Street. Get liquid, pay off your debts, and have some of your assets, I would like to suggest, in gold and silver. Silver is much more volatile. It goes down more when there's a crash, but it also goes up more violently than gold in the upswing. And there is, by these writers, Franklin Sanders, who publishes The Money Changer, and his columnist Patrick Heller, who's also in the coin business. He runs Liberty Coin Service in Lansing. They say that physical gold and silver are generally good, and if you know more about that field, you make money off of trading in silver for gold and gold for silver, depending on the ratio. So the ratio changes, and when it changes at an extreme, you trade in. I've done that once. You obtain more weight in precious metal by buying the other one when the ratio is at a presumed great point. And so that's if you're, I'm not as sophisticated in this area, so I wouldn't propose to advise you in that. But generally, the value of real money will soar as against paper money. This is David Tulis. Make sure you go to Nooganomics.com today and read about the lawsuit filed just not too long ago by Hanson Melvin in circuit court. He and his wife are asking for $500,000 in compensation for false arrest and a conspiracy, a police officer conspiracy against this man, this innocent man who was just walking along a Walking While Black case here in Chattanooga. Walking While Black. Read about it at Nooganomics.com. The platform that covered this issue aggressively. And, I'm not, in a way, I'm an objective journalist. I can write stories that are totally objective and all sides get fair play. On the other hand, generally, my bias, my perspective is what is constitutionally right and what is fair and honest. And so if I write something that's an argument, the argument is, well, where is the Constitution being respected in this story? And so I ask hard questions. I'm David Tulis, the slow man of Chattanooga. Yes, I know, the smartest guy with a bow tie. But really, the story is that I'm slow. I'm very slow. And I ask dumb questions. And the dumb questions are often the best ones. And sometimes the dumb questions are standing, even though the answer has come and gone. You hear the answer from the official, and it's just nothing. It's just a bit of stubble. And the answer is nothing, but the question stands. And that's what I try to do, being the slow man of Chattanooga. Ask the dumb questions. And so that's what we have done in numerous stories that we've covered here at Nooganomics.com and at Nooga Radio. We are the station for the people, right? We are a station that takes very seriously our public service, our public interest perspective. What is good for you, the listener? What is good for your city? What is good for your county and your state? What does the law require, right? What does liberty allow, right? Liberty is protected by the law. It's given to you by God. You have to assert it, though. It's defended by the Constitution. You assert your liberty. How great can we become? How far can we go as Chattanooga, as Hamilton County? Well, this is David Tulis. Thanks for joining me. Now, some messages.
In-depth traffic, news, and information. Mornings on Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.